Yeah, quick statements. I might go a little longer. Mike, if that's okay with you, bud. Can you hear me? Okay. Just some awards from the week. We had some good performances. Marion Brown played at a really high level, and it goes beyond the statistics. I know, obviously, he's rushed for a touchdown. He's thrown for a touchdown. He's caught a touchdown this year. But just the energy that he brings, the attitude, the effort, those kind of things, it's really good to see it pay off. But it is a result of those things. Ryan Johnson played at a really, really high level. Just proud of the way he goes out, competes every single day at a very high level as a leader of our offensive line. The next one I take tremendous amount of pride in, tremendous amount of respect for who this young man is as a person. Tobias Oliver, this is a special teams award. We have him on kickoff return doing the hardest, one of the hardest assignments to do in major college football. The things that we have him do as the left tackle in our kickoff return, does it at a tremendous level, covers on kickoffs, and then when he got his reps in the game at corner on Saturday, played at a really, really high level. I don't think anybody out there understands how hard it is to be a lifelong quarterback, then to transition to playing receiver, then switch over to be a big-time elite corner in college football, and to halfway through the season, first time ever playing the position, do that at the level that Tobias Oliver is starting to do that. So just really, really proud of him. We're a developmental program. Tobias takes everything that we teach, everything that we pour into him from a cultural standpoint, from a player standpoint, from a development standpoint, position, technique, fundamental scheme, and does it at a really high level. Really proud of him. Real quick on the developmental, Nate McCullum, again, had another good week. Again, you guys saw him out there getting some burn on special teams. A Kilo Stone, a true freshman defensive tackle that just has been putting in work, putting in stacking days, and has done a really nice job. Really proud of a Kilo. And then on defense also is Jalen Huff. He's a young man that came into our program. I think he weighed about 150 pounds when he first stepped on campus. Moved up to about the 190 range, did it the right way, and then just every single day, every single week has improved his technique, improved understanding of how we do things around here that enables him to play at a high level, and he's doing that. Excited, hopefully, to get him some special teams burn this weekend. Obviously, again, Presley Harvin, Ray Guy, National Punter of the Week, second time. And it's, again, I know it's got to be old hearing it, but it's true. Josh Blancato and Jalen Askew afford us and afford Presley the opportunity to punt the way that he punts. It's impressive the way Presley goes about his daily walk, his daily business, and then he gets into the games and performs at a high level. And I know Presley will be the first to tell you that the efforts of those two young men, along with Dante Smith and along with Tobias Oliver, playing gunners for us, enables him to do that and have success. Story of the game. A lot of times at the end of games, there's so much that happens. It's really hard to pinpoint in the moment exactly the series of events that affects the game and affects the outcome. For whatever reason, Saturday night up at Chestnut Hill, exactly what happened, exactly what went wrong, and it was 6 plays. I said it after the game and after watching the tape. We had the early turnover and high snap, bounced off Jeff's face mask as he's trying to read the 3 technique, fumble, they pick it up short field, they get up 2 scores. Later in the second quarter, JP, first game back. We're so glad JP's back playing for us. Just his physical presence, his toughness, his demeanor, his attitude is so great to have back in the lineup. He goes and he hits the line, and I literally counted the seconds. It was 5 seconds from his first contact, and he pushed. And in this day and age of electronic whistles and a global pandemic, the play was assumed over. The ball pops out. Credit to BC picking it up, scooping the score, and getting a touchdown. And just those things, just keeping harping on. Finish every play, finish everything at every single time. Do not give up cheap plays. And then the last turnover, and these are 3 big turnovers that led to 21 points. Late in the game, after we don't field a punt, they gain 20 extra yards on the roll. We're backed up. Young quarterback reads the rotation improperly, throws it to the wrong spot. Obviously would love to have that one back, but 21 points right there. And then there were the story of the 3 penalties, 3 critical penalties. The one on the kickoff return, we return back for a touchdown. 10 guys do their job at a high level. Another guy competing his butt off, grabs some jersey. They call it kickoff return taken back. Sudden change opportunity for the defense. We get a 3rd down stop on the 9-yard line. Great stop by our defense, great resilience. We get a personal foul. They score on the next play when, that's another 7 points. And then as our guys fought back, so proud of the resilience, the fight, the belief that our guys just kept fighting back. We score to put it up, to put ourselves within reach. We get the onside kick. Jude Kelly makes a great kick. Wanye Thomas fields the ball, makes a great play. We have something rolling, and then we get a penalty on a 14-yard gain, and it gets sent back. So those 6 plays, we've got to learn from those mistakes. We've got to clean those things up, but really proud of the effort, really proud of the demeanor, the attitude, the competitiveness of this group of guys, and continue to work and fight to get better every single week. The last part that I'm going to touch on is the uniforms that we're wearing this week. And, it's been asked how long have they been in the works and all of these things. I was a young guy, middle school aged, and I still remember, I can vividly see it on my wall in my bedroom out in Conyers, Georgia. I had a Black Watch poster hanging over my bed. A swarm of Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket defenders swarming after the ball, wearing those black jerseys, that black GT and the black stripe and the black face mask. I can vividly picture that on my wall, and have always dreamed of one day being here, one day being a part of something that's special, continues to grow in that way. So I know exactly what this program is supposed to look like. I know exactly what this program will look like. Excited for our guys to be able to put that uniform of one of the best defenses and even teams that have played here. So it's going to be, obviously it's a good look, but just the meaning behind it, the history behind it, what it means to this great institution and this football program. And it's pretty cool too. Pat Swilling played on the Black Watch defense. His son Trey and Bruce Jordan Swilling are here, and they're going to be in those uniforms this weekend as well. Pretty cool thing, and we're playing against a great opponent. So with that, open up for questions.
Okay, if you could, please use the raise hand function within Zoom if you have a question for Coach Collins. We'll call on people individually, starting with Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Rod.
Hey, Jeff. Good morning. Hey, I was wondering about some of the rotations that are being used. Naturally, the offensive line and the linebackers, the starters have gotten, just about all the reps. Have you gotten to a point in the evaluation process where you may trim the number of players you're using?
I don't know if we would say that. I mean, we've got some different positions. There's been attrition, different positions. We're still in the development phase with a lot of the guys that we're trying to bring along. But I think the rotation, one of the biggest parts, Rod, and you know this, how we do things around here. Every single ounce of playing time is earned throughout the week of practice and preparation. The guys that earn the right to play on the field on Saturday have earned it the right way, the way they prepare, the way they practice, the way they produce on the field during practices and competitive situations, the way they produce throughout the games, and the way they produce during special teams as well, even in practice and in games. So that is a weekly conversation, Rod, that we have. Friday morning, our meeting is playing to win, is playing the players, and that is a long conversation, very detailed conversation. The players know how they're going to be played. They know how they've earned their playing time throughout the week, and every single day we just had a great practice out here. It was highly competitive because everybody knows on every single day that they're having to fight to maintain their position, maintain their playing time, or they can work to elevate their playing time, elevate the amount of reps and contributions to the team in every single phase. Rod, it has worked out for us everywhere that we have been. It will continue to work at a high level here, and as we continue to build depth and continue to solidify things as we build this program in the present and in the future, it is going to be the right way to do it. And I'm excited about the way our guys approach it every single day so that they're getting ready to compete and play at a high level against a great opponent on Saturday.
Next question comes from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Geoff. So I get asked about this a lot, and I'm kind of curious your philosophy. You work for Coach Saban and Coach O'Leary, guys who are very intense on the sideline, getting in guys' faces, and you have a very different approach. The kind of, I don't know if you call it players coach approach. You don't do a lot of the histrionics on the sideline stuff. Can you talk about how you developed whatever that strategy is and why your guys aren't maybe as visually in the face of people like when they make a mistake on the sideline or something like that?
Okay. So, Kelly, have you ever come to a Georgia Tech football practice? I'm asking you a question. Okay. Have you seen how intense our practices are? Have you seen the way we get after it in every single drill, in every single play, in every single individual fundamental period, in every single team run? I'm asking you a question. Have you seen us do that? Okay. So we do that. Yes. Okay. So stay with me, Kelly. We are very active. We compete and we coach very hard, and we love our guys very hard. These practices that we have on Tuesdays, on Wednesdays, are as intense and boisterous, whatever word you want to see, as there is in college football. But here's the deal. If all you're doing it is for TV, if all you're doing it is to defend in public, if all you're worried about is making kids look bad on TV so that it's not your fault, when you want to run around and get in a kid's face and yell and scream and show the kid up in front of everybody, I don't agree with that. There are times that we'll pull a kid to a side and have an intense conversation. Luckily, we have these things now, Kelly, right? And we have good conversations with our guys. But the work that we do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if it takes some histrionics, to use your word, to make a kid look bad in front of everybody, to show a kid up, to disrespect a kid, I do not see how that elevates a young man's performance. When we're out here at practice, we coach them, we love them, we correct them, we make sure everybody's executing at a very high level. Then on Saturdays, we tell our players to attack success and have zero fear. Well, if you go into a game, Kelly Quinlan, and you're out there and you're worried, if I make a mistake, I'm going to get to the sideline and that coach is going to yell at me and he's going to scream at me and he's going to make me look bad, I'm not going to go play my fullest. I'm going to play timid. I'm going to play reserved. I'm not going to take chances to go and make plays, and I'm going to do things in a tense, passive demeanor. So I make sure our coaches let our kids play at a high level. We coach them very hard and very the right way with character and class 365 days a year. When they get out on that field, Kelly, I want them to cut it loose and play. And know there's a coaching staff on that sideline that loves them, that believes in them, will not disrespect them, and wants them to have freaking unbelievable success. You good?
Yeah, it was great.
Next question from Marty Smith from ESPN.
Hey, Coach. Good morning.
Hey, Marty.
Look forward to seeing you Saturday. When you've
Yes,
had
sir,
a couple
always.
tough weeks here and
Sure.
you're in the grind of what's already an unprecedented, unique season, how do you maintain the energy and the passion and the belief and the morale in your locker room and within your program that you've kind of made your staple?
It's really, Marty, I mean, it's a choice, right? I make a choice every single day. What is my attitude? What is my demeanor when I walk into the building? I can choose to be positive. I can choose to be negative. Marty, I choose to be positive. I know exactly what we inherited here from a culture standpoint, from a roster standpoint. I know exactly how far we've come. I know exactly where we are. And Marty, I know exactly where we're going. And I'm surrounded by a bunch of guys and a bunch of players and a bunch of coaches and a bunch of staff, men and women, that I'm surrounded with on a daily basis on the same mission as me. So I choose to be positive. I've been around Kelly Quinlan. I've been around some people that's not their way that they're going to come to work every single day. I want the people that are here to enjoy what they're doing, to know that they are part of something that's going to be very, very special sooner rather than later. The other thing, Marty, I can control my attitude and I can control my effort. And my job is to coach with ridiculous effort to get everybody in this program playing and performing at a higher level than their baseline. A lot of people just want to look at results. They don't want to see the progress and the steps in the journey, which I see every single day every single day we're building, and we're building something that's very special. Marty, here's human nature, man. Human nature tends to be negative. Human nature tends to be critical. Human nature tends to want to tear people down. That's human nature. They want to do it on social media. They want to do it in the media. They want to do it wherever it is. They want to be negative and tear things down. I ain't about that life, Marty. I want to build people up. I want to build something special. I want people that are around me in every phase of their life, they have a positive experience because they were around me and I influenced them in some way for the better. Not everybody's like that, Marty. I'd say it's more uncommon to be that way than to be the other way. It's more uncommon to be positive. It's more uncommon to build people up. But that's the life that I'm about. I am so proud of this group of coaches. I did not text message. Normally I just wake up and start firing off texts. But I woke up at 1:46 this morning, Marty, and instead of texting the staff, I just literally wrote a long text to myself. And then this morning after the staff meeting, I shared that text with them, how much they mean to me, how appreciated their sacrifices are on a daily basis. You guys have no idea what it's like for our assistant coaches on a daily basis in the midst of a global pandemic, in the midst of social unrest, with all the negativity that could be out in the world, to come to this building, Marty, and pour their hearts and their souls and their love into these young men. To fight the good fight, to get them better every single day in every single phase of their lives. We spend more time with these guys than we do our own families. And we understand that. We love these guys, we coach these guys, and they are getting better every single day in every single phase of their life. I'm blessed to have people surrounding me that are on the same mission that I am. A lot of them I've had a lot of relationships with for a long, long time. But here's what I've learned, Marty, over this career. Negativity in short spurts can produce temporary results. Positivity over a long period of time builds programs and builds cultures and builds men and builds people. And that's what we're in the business of doing. I'm proud of these dudes I get to do it with every day. I'm proud of the players I get to do it with every single day. I ain't worried about anything outside because I'm fully aware of exactly where this program is and exactly where this program is going. And we are worlds better than we've ever been, and we'll just continue to get better in every single phase. Whether that be playing, whether that be coaching, whether that be development, whether that be in recruiting, we will get better every single way, every single day. Sorry for the long answer, bud.
No, I appreciate the passion. Thank you.
Next question from Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, Jeff. You touched on it with the 6 plays that
Yep.
shaped the game.
Sure.
Saturday again was a game where you guys fell behind early, and I think it's been a lot of different instances of turnovers or penalties or whatever. And I'm curious, what are you seeing and how do you fix that? So you're not falling. So I mean, obviously, if you knew the answer, obviously, but how do you try to amend things?
Okay. So out of those 3 turnovers, one of them was a read. We read it wrong. We went to the wrong side. Their kid made a good play. He was in the right spot. We made a young person's error, right? The other one was an errant snap. The other one was, in this day and age of electronic whistles and pushing piles for 5 seconds, somebody that had been out for 5 games that is just competing and fighting for every single inch of every single piece of real estate that he can fight, and something bad happened. 3 series of unfortunate events. One of them we can control and we can get better. Okay? We can work on our snaps every single day, even more and more and more, and we do that. It's part of the very first thing that we do when we come out here to practice. Kelly, you've been here. Rod, you've been here. Ken, you've been here. The very first thing we do every single day, rattle out of the box, is quarterback center exchanges. First thing we do every single day, and we'll continue to do that as we continue to build this program to a ridiculously high level. So it's part of our process. Had an errant snap. Things happen. We've got to learn from it. We've got to get better.
Next question comes from Paul Newberry from the Associated Press.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Good.
This a lot of what I was going to ask you has already been answered when you were talking about, where you think this program is. Is there any part of this, as you said, it's a results business. Is there any part of you that this job is a little tougher than you thought it was going to be? Or is this kind of online, maybe despite the results of where you thought this rebuilding process would be?
Yeah, so here's the cool thing about having worked for Coach Saban and being there his first year that we took over at Alabama. And, the phrase trust the process started really in that time. And so I understand what the process is. I'm not demeaning anybody and will never demean anybody about what the state was and how the roster relative to what we're doing in major college modern football. I am blessed to coach these kids. I'm blessed to coach this team. It's interesting, Paul. My house, literally, probably my house in Philadelphia, we closed on it today. It's been 18 months that's been on the market. It closed today. And a lot of that obviously becomes a lot of, reflection. And we had a great situation. We had a great culture that had been established, that we established and even took to another level. And, we come here and it's just a complete 180 from how things had been done. And I'm not saying the things were wrong. Everybody's different. We do things in different manners. Doesn't make one right, doesn't make one wrong, but just it couldn't be more polar opposites of how to run a program, the body types, the schemes offensively and defensively could not be more polar opposite. But here's the advantage that we had when we walked in the door. There's a bunch of great young men that are high character, that want to work hard, hungry for something, and we came in and invested and poured every single day into their lives. And they continue to get better. They continue to develop at a ridiculously high level. Marty, you come out, Paul, you guys come out in the pregame warm-ups. It is a completely different looking team. Recruiting, Rod, Kelly, you guys know how that profile has been elevated and will continue to be elevated. We've got a bunch of unbelievable young men that come to work every single day, and I'm not going to worry about anything else except for what I know is in that locker room, is in that coaching staff meeting room that I am so lucky to be around every single day. People get short-sighted. People don't know full stories and full pictures of anything. They see snapshots, they take pictures, little snippets, little segments. Oh, that must be how it is. I've had a lot of peers and a lot of Georgia Tech faithful send me things of Bill Curry's first years, of Bobby Ross's first years. I don't need that, but I appreciate the fact that they care enough and they see the vision that I have, that this staff has, that these players have every single day. There's a lot of people that want to tear you down. There's a lot of people that want to build you up. There's a lot of people that want to be in your corner. There's a lot of people that want to turn their back on you. And I keep score too. I know the people that are going to ride and die with me every single day. And I know the people that'll turn their back on us and turn their back on each other when times get tough. All I've ever been, everywhere I've been, is successful. All I've done everywhere I've been is won and develop my players to the highest level possible. Sometimes it's really quick, sometimes it's fast, sometimes it takes a little bit while to get it going, but it always and will always end up being in the positive. And here's why. Because I will not stop until it happens. I will not stop loving these kids. I will not stop loving these coaches. I will not stop feeding the right things, pouring the right things into their lives on a daily basis. Then, once we get this program to where it's supposed to be in the landscape of college football, then there's going to be another challenge. And I'm excited to have that challenge too. But I ain't getting caught up in whatever some of y'all get caught up in. I'm getting caught up in these dudes. I'm getting caught up in these players. I'm getting caught up in these coaches and how to make them better every single day. And I'm excited about it. I'm fired up to play the number 3 ranked team in the country on Saturday. They've got great players. They've got great coaches. The top 3 teams in college football, I think their head coaches have been there 11 years, 12 years, probably for a reason. Things are established. Now we've got to go put the ball down and compete and play and not have fear, attack success. Know there's coaches on the sideline that love you, care for you, and want you to be successful. That's our recipe. That's the recipe it's been everywhere we've been, and we've won everywhere we've been, and we've played at a high level everywhere we've been. Paul, I have no idea if I answered your question, bud, but.
Yes, it did.
Thank you.
We have time for a couple more for Coach Collins. We'll start with Justin Felder from Fox 5 here in town.
Hey, bud.
Geoff, how's it going? I appreciate your time. This is slightly off topic, but your shirt made me think about it. Election day is a week away. I know it's a bye week for you guys, and you guys had planned on it being an off day before the schedule was even out. But are you going to be able to do anything as a team for Election Day? Anything you can share about your plan?
Yeah, so I'll be over there at McCamish Pavilion volunteering, and obviously we were the first. And again, I know the people that are always on this call, the people that even though I've raised my tone, I truly respect every single person on this call. I really do. What you do to promote our players, what you do to promote our program, I truly respect. And I truly value everything that you guys do relative to our players. The things that you guys do to elevate them, help their brand, help their exposure will pay off in the present and down the road. So I do appreciate that. But yeah, I'm just proud to be a part of an athletic department that set the standard, that paved the way for the NCAA, giving student athletes across the country the day off to participate in the right to vote, and to understand what a honor, what a responsibility it is. Hats off to Marco Coleman, hats off to Kevin Cohn, taking the initiative to get every one of our student athletes, every one of our football players registered to vote, helping them with the process of voting. But yes, I'll be volunteering over at McCamish. Was already planning that even before the ACC gave us the bye week for that, which I am greatly appreciative of. So yeah, it's a good thing, and just proud of the guys, our athletic department, Kevin Cohn, Marco Coleman, that have really invested time into helping our players understand and giving them the things to make it happen.
Okay, we've got time for one more. We'll get one from Patrick Canaro from Ramblin' Sports to wrap up.
Hey, good morning, Coach Collins. I just want to ask you, looking ahead to Notre Dame this Saturday, they've got a lot of strengths, obviously. One of them is their big and experienced offensive line. You guys had a tough day in Chestnut Hill last week against the rush, and I just wondered how you bring them back together and how you face that, knowing that it's another big challenge with another big team.
Yeah, I mean, you turn on the film, and so here's some of the things. The first two things I turn on, okay, as a head football coach, I turn on PAT field goal block to see how their defense responds on a PAT field goal block situation when it is the one play specifically designed to give points, and see how they play on that unit, the passion, the desire, how they can bounce back from something bad happening to them or having to rise to the occasion and try to block a field goal. So I watch that unit. The next unit I watch is the kickoff coverage unit. And let me take a sidebar. Turn on the Georgia Tech football kickoff unit if you want to see the passion and the level of care and the level of effort in this organization. Take those plays and just watch them. It is impressive. And I'm so proud of our guys, the way they cover kickoffs, the way they fly down the field. Bruce Jordan Swilling hit 21.63 miles per hour in a game the other day on kickoff coverage. And that's a 220-pound man doing that, flying down the field. But let me take it back. When you turn on Notre Dame's kickoff coverage, I think they average 235 pounds on the kickoff coverage unit. And they run down the field, they are physical, they are aggressive, they're athletic. So again, everybody that's on this call, that's been on this call, understands how we're trying to build this roster. How we're building this roster physically through development in the weight room, which our guys, a bunch of them are lifting right now. How we try to develop and build and recruit guys with length, guys with size, so that we can have a longer, bigger roster. Excited about the young guys, the Jared Ivies, the Kyle Kennards, the Emmanuel Johnsons, the 6'5", 6'6" defensive ends that are starting to get some burn along the defensive line for us. So just that's where they are. Size-wise, it's a huge offensive line. I think every year in high school recruiting, there's probably, over the last 4 years, there's probably been 20 elite tight ends, right, Suds, in recruiting in high school football. Notre Dame's got 5 of the top 20, right, of the last 4 years. So I mean, it's a really good roster. It's a really good coaching staff. They play physical. They play hard. There's a lot of good things that we can say about them, and I will say about them because I've got a tremendous amount of respect for that program and how they play. Big guys that play physical, that have really good effort, are very athletic, have a good scheme that complements what they have on the roster, and we will continue to build ours in a not so dissimilar manner. But just proud of the way our guys work, proud of the way our guys compete, and excited to see how they take the field on Saturday, Bobby Dodd Stadium, Grant Field, 3:30, against a really, really, really good football team.